Hey, this is Mary from Camaj Fiber Arts. Someone sent me some llama because they wanted me to try it out, prep it, because they were having a little bit of a hard time with it. So this is one bag of the llama I got. I don't know if you can see this. It's a little bit shorter stapled. I have another small bag where it's longer. So tell you what, let's wash this. I'm going to prep it and then we'll spin it and see how this turns out. So come along with me. Okay, so here is the longer stapled one. This has a pretty long staple. I think I might comb this one. And then this is the shorter stapled one. Let's see. And that's pretty short. But this is pretty coarse. I mean, it's when you look at each hair, it's pretty thick. So I think the micron size is pretty high. Which makes it more of a coarse grade fiber. But anyway, I'm going to be scouring the long separately from the short. I will use Kookaburra Scour for one and Unicorn Power Scour for the other one. So let's put a little soap in here. And since there's more, a bigger bunch of fiber here, I'm going to do it in the bigger pot. Now, I wash all my alpaca and llama because, well, this is the first time I've used llama, but I wash all my alpaca because there's an oil that holds on to dirt on these camelids. And I feel that washing it removes that oil and it removes the dirt because the oil sort of makes that dirt stick. And if you've ever washed real camel, ooh, even alpaca is super dirty. You know what? Now that I'm thinking, maybe these are scoured already. I don't think so. Okay, so let me finish these and then I'll come back. Okay, just real quick, I just wanted to show you that I don't think they're scoured yet because can you see how dirty that water is? So this is pretty dirty. I think they were raw. Okay, here's the scoured long llamas. So what I'm going to try to do is pull out the longer pieces, but take a look at that. See how thick the hairs are? This is a very coarse fiber. So let's pull out some longer pieces and I'm just going to lash it on. This is called rough combing. And the way you rough comb is you just lash on whatever way it is, cut in, tip end, it doesn't matter. I just don't want these pieces to fold over on itself because it's so long. See, it's folded right there, so I'm going to make sure that that is straight. Let me move this over a little bit. Let's see, so you can see the whole thing. Because this is pretty long. Can you see how long that is? Woo! Because there's no crimp in this would make a nice weaving warp or something that doesn't need a lot of give in the fiber. Okay, just about done here. Okay, now we're going to start combing it. These are wool and woodwork combs. These are some of my very favorite combs to use. They're a double pitch, which means they have 2 rows. You can see right there. And I really comb just about anything with these. I do fine grade merino. I do coarse grades, just about anything, because I feel like they are very nice combs. Okay, let me take off the waist. And then this is the first comb. Let's go ahead and do that second pass. Look how long that staple is. It's super long. But the other one I have is a little bit on the shorter side. There's a piece of VM, so I'm going to try to grab that out. They're on the shorter side, so I'm going to try and card those. I'm not sure what it's going to be like carded all straight llama, but we will see. So there is the comb. Now I can just pull this off with my hands, or I can use a diz, but I think I'm just going to pull it off with my hands. Pull off. This is called a comb top because the fiber is all in alignment, and it's probably pulling off the longer fibers first, if there's longer fibers, and shorter fibers last. Okay, so there is the comb top, but look how coarse that is. All right, so we've got the comb top, and I will try to spin some of this and show you what this looks like. Let's go ahead and card the shorter pieces of llama. Okay, this is my Brother Deluxe. This is a 90 TPI. This is a Brother drum carder. And I card just about anything on this drum carder. Okay, here is the shorter fiber. So let's look at the staple and see. So that's a longer piece that's stuck in there, but most of it's a little on the shorter side. So I opted to drum card this. Let's take a look and see how this goes. So I'm going to fluff it up before I put it in. I'm wondering if it's going to stick to the liquor in drum. We'll see. And it is sticking to the liquor in drum. I don't know why I thought that it would. I just had a feeling it was going to stick. So I think we might have to take a different route. Let me card a little bit more. Tell you what, hang on a second. Okay, so let me flick off some of this, or clean off that liquor in drum. Let's see if that helps. And do a little burnishing. See, it's still sticking, and I think it's because it's pretty hairy. Let's try. I may have to blend this with some wool. I have a feeling. Let's try this. Let's try thinner layers, and I'll go slower because I know that's what some of you are saying. Go slower in thinner layers. Okay, and it's still sticking. Tell you what, let me take this bat off and let's sort of start again. And I'm going to have to flick it off because I think it's going to stick to, it's really sticking to the drum. Okay, I'm going to take this. Let me get some other fibers and let's do some blending. Okay, I have some medium grade wool that I am going to mix with this. I don't really want to use a super fine wool because it's a pretty coarse fiber, and I don't know, I just want to sort of mirror the fiber, the llama. So I'm going to put a layer of that, and then I will put another layer of wool on top of that. And let's see how this turns out. Usually when I have a fiber that sticks to the liquor in drum, I will sandwich it between something that doesn't get stuck between the liquor in drum, like some sort of wool or something like that, and it usually helps, like silk or bamboo will get stuck in the liquor in, and llama. Okay. Okay, let me do a couple passes of this and I'll come back and take it off and see what it looks like. Finish this bat. Let's go ahead and take it off and see what it looks like. We'll have to put it through another 1 or 2 times to get this really blended well. Go ahead and take this off. You may need a flicker brush to take off that layer. Now we don't want this to, it doesn't have to be super pretty because we're going to put it through again, so not to worry using a flicker brush on this bat. Okay, so this is the bat. It's not very blended well, but that sort of worked with the wool. Okay, so I'm going to split it in pieces. And let's go ahead and put that through again. Because this will blend it more. And because we're mixing the white with the black, it'll be more gray. All right, so let me finish this and I'll come back and show you. I did 2 more passes. And let's take a look at how it blended. All right, let's move the drum carder out of the way. And I would say that blending llama with maybe a wool or something is probably a good idea if you're going to card it. I do see the thick hairs sticking out. We're going to spin it and see what happens. And the reason they're sticking out is because carding sort of disorganizes the fibers. So you're going to get the fibers in sort of a bent position. And this is a really good way to see it. They're bending, and see how webby that is. That's what carding will do to fiber because it adds air into the prep. Okay, I'm going to spin these and then we'll come back and take a look at them and see what you think. Okay, here's the fiber all done. This was the combed one, and I spun it worsted. It's a little bit on the hairy side. This fiber may have had some guard hairs, but I honestly didn't see a big difference in the micron, at least with my eyeballs. So, but this is pretty strong. There is no give whatsoever, and I'm pulling on this. There's no give whatsoever. So this would make a really nice handbag or maybe even rug yarn. So that's pretty cool. And then this is the one that I carded, and I actually put some wool in it, and I call it fiber binding. And the only reason I call it fiber binding is because I couldn't get the llama to card by itself, so I put in some wool to bind into the bat, so it made a bat. And there you go. So there is that one, and I spun it kind of chunky, kind of uneven. I think I was rushing through it because it wasn't my favorite. Anyway, oh, and this doesn't have, let's see, this doesn't have much give either, even though there's some wool in it. So thank you for letting me try this fiber. And this is a fun little fiber study. And I'm sure there's some llamas out there that are super soft. This may have been an old one. Or maybe it was leg or belly hair. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. There is the study on the llama fiber.